Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spokane Technical 2-year or 4-year college fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools with us here today. My name is Brianna, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Spokane. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Cal Lutheran University.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I am so happy to be with you all today. Again, this is California Lutheran University. My name is Vienna. I'm actually your admission counselor. So if you decide to apply to Cal Lutheran, I'll be the one that reviews your application and goes through the whole process with you. So it really is truly a pleasure to be with you all today. At the end, I'll go ahead and put in my contact information so that you can reach out if you have any questions. And of course, I'll also be putting in that Zoom link so that we can chat if you do have any individual questions. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, Cal Lutheran, we're located in Thousand Oaks, California, right between Santa Barbara and Los Angeles. We're about 25 minutes away from the coast. Truly, the location is one of my favorite things about campus. Everything's really central. There's lots of amazing opportunities for you to have a fun weekend trip or just really enjoy the awesome weather that we have on there pretty much year round. As we look at Cal Lutheran by the numbers, you'll see that we have just over 2,800 undergraduate students with an average class size of 17 and a 14-to-1 faculty to student ratio. This is important for me to share because I want to make sure that I set your expectations of what you can expect when you come to campus. And that is that our faculty are going to really take an interest. They're going to want to be part of your academic journey, mentor you as you find your different career paths, make sure that you think that what you really want to do is really what you want to do. We want you out in the field, making sure that it is what you think it is, and definitely our faculty involved in making sure that you're able to get those internships, those different job opportunities, those different research opportunities as well. Cal Lutheran is a minority-majority school, meaning majority of our students do identify as coming from traditionally underrepresented backgrounds. And since 2016, we are proud to be a Hispanic serving institution. With this designation, we're not just serving our Latinx students, but we are serving all of our students that come from traditionally underrepresented backgrounds, as the Department of Education asks us to do. And so that encompasses our Latinx students, our Black students, Indigenous, AAPI, part of the LGBTQ community, women in STEM, first gen, and so many more. And so really with this designation, we're truly able to create programs, opportunities, for students to connect with each other and definitely be supported as they are here on campus. We also have 41 different faiths represented on our campus. And so that means that we feel like religion is a get to, not a have to. We have that diversity. It's something that we want. And here on campus, you'll be able to continue to explore your faith, learn more about others, or simply just be part of the community if you wanted to. But at the same time, if you don't have a religious affiliation and that's not something that interests you, that is completely okay. We have students, faculty, and staff that don't have that religious worldview, and that is completely okay. They do love Cal Lutheran just the same. We have 41 majors, 43 minors. You can minor in pretty much any one of our majors. We also have no impacted majors, which really allows you to explore the different areas with ease without feeling the stress of having to stay in a major or have it be really complicated for you to declare a major. We also have an awesome 4 to finish program where we guarantee your graduation in 4 years. That means if the last semester, the last class that you need is full or it's no longer being offered, we will pay for that extra semester for you to finish your degree. And something great about this is we just expanded this to cover a double major. So now you don't have to just pick one. You can come in, 2 majors, graduate with 2 degrees, and still guaranteed to do that in 4 years. So of course, academics is so much, or college is so much more than just academics. It also has a lot to do with the community that you're joining. So we have over 100 different clubs and organizations ranging from academic to social justice, cultural, really a little bit of everything. We also have 22 NCAA Division III teams for you to be able to join and be part of that community with amazing state-of-the-art equipment for all of our students to use. Even if you don't commit to a college level team, you will still have access to all of that. As a Division III institution, there really is a nice balance between being a student and being an athlete, both recognizing that both are important, part of your identities and part of the reason that you're choosing to come to Cal Lutheran. And living on campus is also important for us to chat about. So we are ranked number 12 in the state of California for our nicest residence halls. We do have guaranteed housing and parking for our students all 4 years. In terms of dining, there is Ullman Commons, which is our main dining facility, Starbucks, Jamba Juice, as well as the Habit on campus. In terms of applications, we'll require your official high school transcripts as well as an academic letter of recommendation. In addition to your Common Application, we are Common App exclusive. That is the only way to apply for admission. Cal Lutheran is test optional, so if you have those test scores and you want to send them over, that's great. We're happy to receive them. But at the same time, if you don't have them, or maybe you do have them, but you don't want to send them in, equally as great. That is still something that is completely up to you if you choose to send them in or not. We have two deadlines. The first is coming up in a little bit under a month. That's November 1st, our early action deadline, which is really an early notification system where you're applying early so that we get to tell you early if you're admitted or not, as well as our January 1st deadline, which is regular decision. Now, either one of these deadlines, you will automatically be considered for academic scholarships that go up to $25,000. We also have our presidential scholarship that can go up to full tuition. Now, this scholarship is tied to our November 1st deadline. So if you are interested in being considered for this, it is important that you applied by November 1st. And then we also have our public price promise. So if any of the UCs are on your list and you gain admission into any one of them, we will match their average cost of attendance as if you were a California resident. That's definitely something important to keep in mind. This scholarship amount is a little bit over $28,000. So it's a really great opportunity for students. Now it is going to be one or the other, academic, public price promise, or presidential, always keeping whichever is highest. We also have visual performing arts scholarships that can go up to full tuition. The application is live. The first deadline for visual performing arts scholarships is coming up in November 15th. So you have a little bit over a month to get that completed. More information is definitely on the website. This is the contact information for our general admissions line. If you do have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And like I said, I'll be putting in my contact information so that you can also reach out to me directly and I'll be happy to help.
Thank you so much, Diana. Next, we'll be hearing from the University of Pittsburgh.
All right, thank you very much, Brianna. And I'm going to share my screen here. Think you can see that. Should be good. All right. Go ahead and get started. So welcome to the University of Pittsburgh. Thank you for taking your time to see all of our schools today. Of course, Pittsburgh is quite a ways away from the state of Washington, but it has many great things to offer for out-of-state students and for all students who come here. You can see some of our rankings on the screen here. A few that are not mentioned is that we were actually ranked as 18th in the top public universities in the United States. That's one of our most recent rankings by US News and World Report. In addition to that, we do have the same 14:1 student to faculty ratio, so that's a very low student to faculty ratio. We are considered a mid to large sized campus with around 20,000 undergraduate students and additional 20,000 graduate students besides that. Moving on, in case you are not sure exactly where Pittsburgh is, it's quite a ways away from Washington, but it's about an hour flight away from New York City or Washington, DC. We do have a large airport, an international airport, and it's very accessible from the state of Washington. We like to say at the University of Pittsburgh that the city really is our campus, and that's because while a lot of universities are college towns, Pitt is something like a college town within a much larger city. So we have all of the benefits that come with being in a university, a high amount of diversity, international food vendors around the university. But in addition to that, we have lots of the cultural events and athletic events that are provided by living in a city. With your Pitt ID, you can actually travel around the city of Pittsburgh for free, and then also have heavily discounted or free access to a lot of those events, things like theater performances, orchestras, concerts. We have 4 professional sports teams in the city of Pittsburgh, and so much more. In addition, a lot of times our students will get free dinners before attending any of these events. So that is a great option a lot of our students like to take up. Besides that, many companies have been making their headquarters or opening new offices here in the city of Pittsburgh. These include a lot of big name tech companies such as Google, Duolingo, Zoom, Uber, Facebook, Amazon, and so much more. If you're interested in medical tech, that's another great option, as we have the UPMC complex in the city of Pittsburgh and six different teaching hospitals located on campus. Some of our best academic options are our philosophy program, our neuroscience program, our nursing program, and then our engineering as well. All of these programs are rated in the top 10, with some of them, such as philosophy and neuroscience, typically being in first, second, or third in the country. But you will have the option to choose from 6 different first-year entry schools upon applying to the University of Pittsburgh. They're listed on the screen here. And you can probably imagine which majors are located within each school. Two of our newest schools are the School of Computing and Information and also the School of Public Health. Both of these have been growing in momentum nationwide and also here at the University of Pittsburgh. Something that's unique about our university is we do have a guaranteed admissions program. So if you know that you'd like to have a little bit more academic security, you want to attend a master's program or a professional program in the future, this could be an option for you. On your application, you would want to say or indicate that you're interested in a guaranteed admissions program, and we would save a seat for you in that graduate school. So for example, if you're interested in pre-law, if you're interested in entering the law graduate school, and you're studying political science or something like that, you would just have to indicate your interest in it. And if you meet certain requirements upon application, and then you maintain certain requirements during your studies, you would have automatic access to the graduate program. Moving beyond that, we also offer lots of experiential learning opportunities for our students. These include more than 300 different study abroad programs, co-ops for our engineering and computing students. These are working with an employer for one semester and then returning to the University of Pittsburgh for studies one semester, alternating. It's a great option. Besides that, we do also have a guaranteed internship program. So if you go through our internship prep program, you meet all of the requirements, we do guarantee that you will have an internship while you're a student at the University of Pittsburgh. Beyond that, we are Research One institution, which essentially means we get lots of funding to conduct research. All of our faculty conduct research. And if you're interested in a particular field, I highly recommend you to look at faculty that are related to that field and see what they're studying. It's very easy to connect with them in the classroom or going through our Office of Undergraduate Research. Student life is something that's quite big here at the University of Pittsburgh. We do have hundreds of student organizations. We have cheese clubs, chess clubs, and a fun fact, we also have a Brian Club, which is just a group of students named Brian who decided to form their own club. So if there's something you're interested in academically or non-academically, you'll probably be able to find it here. We're a Division I school with regards to athletics, but we also have intramural sports and club sports. If you have any further questions, please feel free to look me up here. A little bit about the application process. We accept the Common App, the Coalition app, or the PIT application. And beyond these three applications, we are additionally test optional. And we will require you to either submit your transcript or a self-reported academic record. That's pretty much it. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing your applications.
Thanks so much, Seth. And next we'll hear from the University of Mary Washington.
All right, hello everyone. Okay, so thank you all for joining us tonight. My name is Amanda, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the University of Mary Washington. We are a small public liberal arts school in Fredericksburg, Virginia. We kind of have the best of both worlds at Mary Washington. So we have that small undergraduate focused liberal arts campus at the public school price for Virginia students. We also have a really great location. We are located right smack dab in between Washington, D.C. and Richmond, Virginia. So our students have access to everything that both of those cities have to offer while still being in a small, quaint college town. We've got 4,100 undergraduate students on our campus. We also have a couple hundred graduate students, but they have their own campus about 20 minutes away. So everything that you'll find on our Fredericksburg campus is exclusively for undergraduate students, and that includes all of our faculty and staff. We all work at Mary Washington because we want to work with undergraduate students, and we want to be here to support you both in and out of the classroom. As for academics at Mary Washington, we are pretty small. So we've got an average class size of 19 students. So it's similar, if not smaller, than what most students are experiencing in their high schools. We have a student faculty ratio of 13:1. So you're going to get a lot of individual attention. Most of our classes are small discussion-based seminars. We don't do a whole lot of lecturing at Mary Washington, and you certainly will never be in a large 200, 300 person lecture. Our largest lecture hall on campus only holds 175 people. So we can not get any bigger than that. And there are only one of those because of the quality of interactions that our students get with faculty. Many of them also are doing undergraduate research with them. You can do research from the very first days that you're at Mary Washington as a freshman. As I said, we don't have any graduate students. So all of the faculty who are doing research are doing it with undergraduate students. And we have over $750,000 worth of funding set aside to support that every year. Going a little bit deeper into our academics, we have 3 different colleges. We have a College of Arts and Sciences, a College of Business, and a College of Education. But being a liberal arts school, we really encourage you to take classes across the university. Our goal is to never have you be siloed in your major or feel like you can't be taking something that you're really interested in outside of your main field of study. And so we build in a lot of flexibility into our curriculum to allow you to do that. We also don't require you to declare a major until you have 28 credits. So you have lots of time to really explore all of the different things that we have to offer, try out a couple different things before we ask you to declare a major. As for student life, our students are very active on campus. We have over 150 different clubs and organizations that our students are a part of. We've got everything from pre-professional organizations to clubs that are just for fun, like board games. We have clubs that are focused on service. Our students are very involved in service in the local community. For the 2018-2019 school year, our students did over 19,000 hours worth of community service. And that's just what we were able to track at the university. That doesn't include things that they were doing that we weren't told about. Even some kind of unique niche clubs. We have a lightsaber club on campus that had a laser battle in one of the gyms over the weekend. And so there really is something for everyone. We have varsity club and intramural sports. The biggest varsity sport that we don't have is football, but we still have a really lively and spirited homecoming that typically takes place around a lacrosse game or a rugby game. Rugby is actually something that's really popular at Mary Washington. Students turn out for the games all the time. We also have a wide variety of study abroad programs. We have 135 programs in 56 different countries. We offer them in 3 different formats. So we have traditional study abroad, we have exchange programs, and then we have what are called faculty-led programs. Those are a little bit shorter. They're anywhere from a week to 6 weeks long, and they take place over student breaks. So if you're the kind of person who's like, I just got to college, I just made all these new friends, I don't really want to go away for a semester, you can do a 6-week program over the summer or 4 weeks over winter break, or even just 1 week during spring break or fall break, where you go abroad with a Mary Washington faculty member and other Mary Washington students, so that you can still get that really robust study abroad experience, but in a little bit shorter and more flexible of a format. I'm just going to wrap things up by talking a little bit about our application and what we're currently doing at Mary Washington. So we have all 3 different decision deadlines. We have early decision, which is that binding deadline. That is coming up on November 1st. We also have early action. That's your non-binding deadline. You're just saying, hey, I like you enough to get you my materials a couple months early. That deadline is November 15th. And our regular decision deadline is February 1st. We try and turn those decisions around within 2 weeks of when a student's file is complete. So when we have all of those materials, so that we can get you a decision as soon as possible. We are also completely test choice. So if you can't test, if you don't want to test, if you don't like your test scores, you don't need to send them to us. We will review you for admission and merit aid with or without those test scores. Our contact information is up on the screen. We are doing tours. If any of you are in the area, we would love to see you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Next, we'll hear from Florida Southern College.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brianna. Let me go ahead and get my share going here tonight, and welcome. Excited to welcome everybody here today. I introduce myself. My name is Joe Madigan. I serve as the Director of Undergraduate Recruitment Outreach at Florida Southern College. My pronouns are he, him, his. It's my pleasure to share a little bit more with you tonight about Florida Southern. And to get started with some basic information, Florida Southern College is located in the beautiful city of Lakeland, Florida. We are exactly halfway in between the cities of Tampa, Florida and Orlando, Florida. 30 minutes east of our campus is the Walt Disney World Resort, and 30 minutes west of us is downtown Tampa that has direct flights that come out of Seattle, Washington, and several different airports. So if you're joining us tonight or from virtually and seeing this, we have for you to come and visit us. Florida Southern is actually the oldest private university in the state of Florida. We've been around since 1883, and we have approximately 3,000 undergraduate students earning their bachelor's degrees, as well as about 600 to 700 graduate students getting master's and doctoral degrees from Florida Southern. About 60% of our students are from Florida, but 40% of our students are from out of state. And within our community are students that represent 44 different states and territories, including the state of Washington, and 50 foreign countries. Florida Southern gets a lot of recognition. We were recently ranked as the #1 most beautiful campus in America by the Princeton Review. And then U.S. News and World Report ranked us #10 for innovation, #8 in the South, in the top 10 for nursing and business in the nation. So lots of great recognition for Florida Southern as a whole. And we offer a lot for students. We have over 70 different academic programs to study spread across 5 different schools, which house some of our most popular programs. Whether that be you're interested in studying health sciences and you're really interested in biology or pre-medicine and our professional tracks, you can find that at Florida Southern. Maybe you see yourself as a business major doing stock trading in our stock trading floors in our School of Business, which is AACSB accredited at Florida Southern. Or maybe you're interested in going into our direct admit nursing program, working in our 37,000 square foot simulation laboratories on campus directly and then going out into the clinical areas surrounding our campus. Or maybe you see yourself into a doctorate of physical therapy program or a musician, or you want to get on stage right away in our theater program ranked in the top 20 in the nation. Maybe you see yourself as a psychologist in the future and even want to get an accelerated master's degree in industrial and organizational psychology. You'll find that at Florida Southern. And I keep mentioning the word you because that's the focus at Florida Southern. We are focused on undergraduate students. We provide you opportunities for research starting your first year. Great example of that. Our partnership with the Tiny Earth Network, where students do antibiotic research the first year. Or maybe you're interested in robotics and autonomous vehicle creation or artificial intelligence at our brand new computer science building on campus. Or maybe you want to get out to the Tampa estuary and understand about conservation, getting your feet in the water and studying how climate change is affecting crowd populations there. Our average class size at Florida Southern is 17 students. We have no teaching assistants, no student assistants in the lecture halls. We are 100% faculty taught and advised, showing our focus on you. But that experiential learning that I'm talking about extends beyond our campus walls. At Florida Southern, you will be guaranteed the opportunity to study abroad. About 70% of our students study abroad by the time they graduate, as it is embedded in the cost of your college tuition. Whether you want to study at a partner university for a semester or do it over a fall or spring break, you'll have that opportunity. 50% of our majors require an internship, and that is also guaranteed at Florida Southern. And if you do not graduate from Florida Southern College in 4 years' time, we will cover the cost of the college tuition it takes you to graduate after the 4th year. One of the things we're most proud of our students about is the opportunities that you have to receive your dream job or dream offer to a graduate school post-graduation. 95% is our outcome rate at Florida Southern College. And what students are doing within 6 months after graduation is incredible. From working as neonatal nurses at Duke University Medical Center to getting offers into veterinary medicine, where this year we had a 100% acceptance rate out of our pre-vet program. Every student is equally given the opportunity to achieve their dreams at Florida Southern and have a great experience overall. We have 16 different residential options, including 6 residence halls right on Lake Hollingsworth, where you have a view and have that opportunity to embrace that Florida beauty. We also have 10 different dining options and names you know: Steak and Shake, Starbucks on campus, our Boar's Head Deli on campus, Fresh and Smoothie Company, or you love the smell of pretzels, you can find that with our pretzel twist, very similar to Annie Ann's on our campus as well for students, all included in your dining plan. Everything at Florida Southern College surrounds who we are as a school and our students, and that includes our student body getting excited about athletics. We are an NCAA Division II program at Florida Southern with 20 varsity sports from baseball to basketball to soccer to lacrosse. Recruitment managed by our coaches, but our students get in free to any of our athletic events. We even have our own Division I NACE esports program, the second largest arena on campus for Overwatch, Rocket League, and League of Legends. There's something for everyone at Florida Southern. And what binds us together, what brings us together is our cornerstone, No matter your background, no matter what you believe, no matter where you come from, you're welcome on our campus. That's our honor code at Florida Southern, embraced by our over 150 different clubs, organizations, activities, from Greek life to campus ministries to orchestras and ensembles, something for everyone. I want to finish tonight by mentioning how to apply. It's free to apply to Florida Southern College on our website at flsouthern.edu, the Common Application or Coalition application. We are test optional at Florida Southern. We review applications holistically, and you get an admission decision within 3 to 4 weeks of applying, as well as automatic consideration for scholarships. For more information, to get in contact with your admissions counselor, check out our website, or use this QR code, connect with Shannon Barnes, our admissions counselor from Washington, or come and visit us. And we are open for tours in our open house. Thanks for joining.
Thanks so much, Joe. And last but not least, we'll be hearing from the University of Connecticut.
Thanks so much, Brianna. Appreciate that. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Oops. Oops, sorry about that. So my name is Heather Schrang. I am the admissions officer for the University of Connecticut in Washington State, as well as Oregon and Northern California. So I am your resource for all things UConn. So at UConn, we like to say it's on to bigger ideas, on to better answers, or just it's on. Looking for students who are looking to find creative solutions to problems and looking to challenge the status quo. First thing I like to get started with is where exactly we're located. So we are located in Storrs, Connecticut. We're in the northeast corner of the state. We're about an hour and a half south of Boston and about 2.5 hours north of New York City. So very nicely centrally located in the heart of New England, allowing you to access a lot of different opportunities that the East Coast and the Northeast has to offer. We do have 4 smaller regional campuses, as you can see on the map there. They are non-residential with the exception of Stanford. Generally, students coming from out of state, especially the West Coast, are joining us on the main campus in Storrs. So just something for you to keep in mind. We are the flagship university in Connecticut. We are also a tier 1 research institution, and we're ranked in the top 25 public universities in the country by US News and World Report. We have just over 19,000 undergraduate students on our main campus. We're about 30,000 students altogether with our other campuses and our graduate student population. So we are considered a large institution. Just to give you a little idea of what campus is like, it's very beautiful. We do get all 4 seasons. So snow, if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, we definitely have that. And campus is absolutely beautiful, especially in the fall. So this is just to give you a little bit of an idea. In that top middle photo is our downtown area, which has shops and restaurants, coffee shops, pharmacy, grocery store, kind of everything you could need. We're very much a college town, so you will get that feeling of being on a traditional college campus, but everything is right there for you. We are a diverse university. 45% of our first year Huskies are of ethnic and racial, are ethnic and racial minorities, and also 1 in 3 are first generation students. So lots of resources and support available for students that are coming from a first generation home. We do have 6 cultural centers on campus. About 14% of our student population is also international. So really great opportunities for students to connect with students from all over the country and all over the world. At UConn, we have over 115 majors as well as over 320 minors and concentrations across our 10 schools and colleges. So if you're not sure what you want to study, there's plenty of opportunity for you to find the right fit. And if you have an idea of what you want to major in, but maybe you have some other areas of interest, you can absolutely take advantage of all the majors and minors that we offer and do some interdisciplinary studies. Many of our students do take advantage of that. So absolutely something that you could look into. Our most popular majors as far as why students want to come to UConn are business, engineering, nursing, medicine, and then of course our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is our largest college on campus. We also have a really amazing School of Fine Arts. We do have a 16-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which is important because not just for smaller class sizes, about 30 to 35, even with us being the large institution that we are, but also to access to faculty for mentorships, research, all of those things are something that come along with that student to faculty ratio. I mentioned that we're a tier 1 research institution, and with that means opportunities to do research as early as your freshman year, if that's something you would like to do. We are a Division I university. We have 21 NCAA Division I sports. We're most known for basketball, especially women's basketball, if you follow along with that at all. But in addition to that, we also have 37 club sport teams at the university with over 1,500 club sport athletes. So you can certainly still be involved, even if you're not quite at that D1 level or don't want to play at the D1 level. In addition to the club sport teams, we have over 700 clubs and organizations at UConn. So there is going to be plenty of places that you can find your smaller community within the larger community as a whole. So just give you an idea of different things that are going on campus, different traditions. Homecoming Carnival, UConnic Music Festival. All pictures are shown on here to give you an idea. Our dairy bar, we make all of our own ice cream on campus from the milk from our cows on our working farm. Oozball is my personal favorite event. It's the nation's largest mud volleyball tournament and takes place in the spring. Usually about 3,000 to 4,000 students will participate in that. We also have clubs and organizations that put on different performances, food truck festivals. We do TED Talks, bring comedians, do movies. So this is just to give you an idea that there's always something going on, whether it's a big event or a smaller event. So as far as admissions goes, we are on the Common App as well as the Coalition app. This is a list of everything we need in order to apply to the university. So the SRAR or self-reported academic record, the personal essay, letters of recommendation are optional. We do strongly encourage them due to a holistic review process. So we certainly like to see them. It says 2, but really because they're optional, it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 5. It could also be none. That's totally fine as well. And we are a test optional institution, and we will be for this current academic year as well as next year as well, with the possibility that we will remain test optional. And then this is just a list of all of our deadlines. We don't have early action or early decision at UConn, but we do have a priority consideration deadline in December. And then regardless of when you apply, all admissions decisions will be released on March 1st. And last, just these are some opportunities to connect with the university, but I will be dropping my contact information into the chat. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Heather. If all of our callers, representatives want to turn on their cameras, I can ask some round robin questions. We'll just answer in the order in which they presented. So the first question I have for you all is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
That's a really great question, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to second everything my colleagues are also going to say because we come up with pretty good answers. I would say one of the biggest kind of advice I give to students going through the process is to not let the sticker price of any school scare them away from applying. We will all go over what it would actually cost you to attend our institutions, but that's like the third step. In order to do that, we first need to know what your financial aid package is. In order to do that, we need you to first be admitted and go through the admission process. And so as you're looking at schools, I know cost is a really big factor for a lot of students, but for just a second, put that on the back burner, kind of ignore a little bit of what that cost initially could look like, because we actually don't know how much it's going to cost you.
My response would be to look at the universities holistically. We are considering all of the applicants holistically, meaning that we're looking at all parts of your application as a little piece of the puzzle. I would recommend to students to do the exact same with the universities. There are lots of factors. There's academics, there's life outside of academics, the city that you're, or the area that you're living in. The weather was mentioned in many of these presentations. Take every little thing into consideration, how far away it is from home, the cost, and do a holistic evaluation.
I would say my biggest piece of advice to students who are going through this college process right now is to take some time and do some quiet reflection on yourself. Think about what your strengths are, what kind of environment that you thrive in, what you need out of a school, because that's not only going to help you build your college list, right? It's going to help you narrow down what kind of environment you want to be in and what kind of people you want around you, but it's also going to help you come across authentically in that application. We're just looking to read applications where students show us who they are and tell us about themselves. And so really taking that time to know yourself and know what you're looking for and know what you want to communicate about yourself will help this process run much more smoothly.
I'll echo what everybody had mentioned here. And one thing I'll also share is don't feel like you have to follow the flock. You can make your own path, whatever it may be. Just because a parent, guardian, a mentor is pushing you one way, but you're feeling led to another different direction, don't dismiss that calling that's there. There is a right fit school for every student, and not every student's path is the same. If you're starting at a 2-year school, you could transfer later on as an opportunity. Maybe that's the pathway that you go if you need to stay closer to home for finances or whatever reason to start. The other piece that I would say is don't get paralyzed by essays. Don't feel threatened to hit that submit button on that application. We're real people here. We are here to help in the admissions process. If you have questions anytime, reach out to the admissions representative. We're not trying to be intimidating people. We want to be on your side as advocates and mentors and assistants to help you through that process. So don't get paralyzed by it.
So everybody said such wonderful things. And going last, I would say I would kind of reiterate what Joe was saying from Florida Southern College regarding don't be afraid to reach out to us. We are a resource for you. So we are here to help you in whatever way we can in regards, of course, to the university, but also just the admissions process. If you have kind of an obscure question, even if we don't know it, we'll help you put you in contact with somebody who does or find the answer for you. So that's what we're here for. So please don't ever, just as he said, don't be intimidated by us. We want to help you. We want to talk to you. And that's, I think why we're all in this job is that we love to work with students and help them figure out what their educational path is.
That was all such great advice. The next question I have for you all is, what is just one thing you want students to remember about your school?
That's a hard question. And I have to go first. I have no time to think. I would say, so I'm an alum, and so I'll share a little bit of like my own personal experience of what I experienced when I was at Cal Lutheran, is that we're really a community here. There is no ego between students. This isn't like there's 4 A's in this class and I'm going to beat you out because I want to get this A. Like, it's like, hey, you want to do great? I want to do great. Let's help each other. Let's support each other. And now being on the staff side, I get to really support students through that. And so you're going to become friends with faculty, with staff. I went over to a couple of my professors' office hours, and then that led to like them inviting all of us to dinner, and they would cook dinner for all of us. And so you really do join a community, you do join a family when you're coming to campus.
For the University of Pittsburgh, I would say just that there's a lot of flexibility in what you want to do with your time. You're only going to be in the classroom for 20% of your time. You'll be outside of it for 80% of the time. As an example, I have a student Pathfinder friend who is double majoring in neuroscience and business with a minor in chemistry and Spanish. They're also working and they're also doing research. So there are just many, many different options, experiential learning opportunities that you can do, whether you want to have internships or you want to do research or work on the side. There are lots of opportunities within the community of Pittsburgh and that the University of Pittsburgh can connect you with.
I would say the thing that I want students to remember about Mary Washington is that our students love us as much for what we are as what we aren't. We hear from our current students all the time that 2 of the biggest reasons why they chose Mary Washington is we don't have a football team and we don't have any Greek life. And so we have a campus that's really inclusive, where everybody feels like they belong and can find their place, and doesn't have some of those more traditional social structures that sometimes can make students feel like they might not belong on a campus. And so that's what we hear from current students that they love about Mary Washington.
I think Amanda was going to take a lot of the thunder that I had there from Florida Southern a little bit as well for something so similar. The word community and family comes up a lot when we hear about Florida Southern College and what we're recognized as a university. And I'm going to steal a little bit of what Seth said as well, in the fact that down the road, 5, 10, 15 years from now, when you graduate from college, university, you're doing incredible things. You're not going to remember what you were doing in a classroom on October the 6th, but you're going to remember that opportunity. We're in that intramural beach volleyball game, or you're having that opportunity to actually meet with that professor and have dinner with that professor, or the relations you were having and the games that you were playing together with your friends, or the relationships you had that were built out of the clubs and organizations that's there. That's what Florida Southern is built out of. And we're a residential campus. That means all of our students live on campus for 4 years, and we guarantee housing for 4 years. So you're not having a campus where students leave on the weekends. You have a vibrant atmosphere where students are really together in that, doing the same thing, living life together for the 4-year time frame.
I would say I want students to know about UConn that while we do a lot of things really well, we're not just one thing. So similar to what some of my colleagues have said tonight, that we have a really great sports program, but we're not just a sports school. We do have Greek life on campus, but we're not just a Greek life university. Students are able to find their community within our larger community, and then still have access to all of the other great things that are available to them at UConn, whether if it's just dipping a toe in or kind of being on the fringe of going to a game here and there, but they don't really have any idea of what's going on in the game, but they just want to go and feel that hype and that excitement. But you can still create whatever experience you want at the university, and it's very easy to do.
I want to come see all your schools. The last question I have for you all is, what is one myth you would like to debunk about the college admissions process?
Other than the cost piece that I already talked about, I think one myth is that, and I think some of my colleagues chatted about it too. I think Seth was talking about, or I don't know who was talking about, but somebody was talking about how, like, don't let the fear of that essay kind of paralyze you. I think it was actually Joe that said this. I want to kind of expand on that a little bit and say, like, we hear about these amazing students and these amazing stories. And so sometimes what I hear about students is, well, I don't have that, right? Like, I don't have that epiphany moment of like jumping out of a helicopter and saving somebody's life. Like, nobody really has that, right? Like, I didn't have that. I don't even know if I have an epiphany moment in my life yet. And so I think one common myth is like, I need to like be somebody who I'm not to gain admission into any of the institutions, selective, not selective. And the truth is, it's like your story is more than enough. And so whatever your story is, that's what we want to read. That's what we want on our campus. And it doesn't need to be this big, elaborate story. Your story is more than enough.
I would say one myth that we've kind of been getting away from, but I just want to put my foot on it and really smash it down a little bit more, is that test scores are extremely important. A lot of schools have becoming more test optional recently, and the University of Pittsburgh's test optional. I don't know about every school here, but it's something where it's just one piece of the puzzle again. And as we're looking at you holistically, there are a lot of things to consider. That one is less and less the focus of the admissions process.
Absolutely. Mary Washington is test optional. But I think one of the big myths that I want to kind of dispel is nobody's trying to trick you. The college application is not a puzzle that you need to solve or anything like that. We're just looking to learn about you and, try and see if we're a good match for you, because we want you to be successful. And so we're not sitting behind our computers reading your application, looking for that one little mistake so that we can say no. I think I can speak for most of us in the field. We hate nothing more than having to say no to a student. I wish I didn't have to say no to anyone. And so we really are on your side, and we want to help you through this process. And so if you have questions or concerns, or a question doesn't make sense, please reach out to us, because most of us are going to be the ones reading your application too. And so we want you to be able to put your best self forward. Nobody's going to fault you for not knowing something or for answering a question not quite in the way we were asking for because you didn't understand.
I'm going to kind of layer onto what Amanda said there. We're admission counselors, not dream crushers. That is key piece for this tonight. We are here to help in the process. Florida Southern is also test optional, but I want to share one thing that I hear a lot from students, especially in fine arts. And I hear a lot about that from our programs here tonight. We have exceptional fine arts programs and students that are in the fine arts. Just because you're in the fine arts doesn't mean you have to apply to 25, 30, 40 different schools. If you want to narrow that search down and only audition or submit portfolios or look at a certain number of schools, that's okay. It's good to throw yourself out there, but I want to debunk the fact that there's this magic number that you have to apply to X number of schools that's there. If you have found that perfect home and that's where you want to go, and you know you're potentially going to get in there and you want to go early decision, go for it, no matter what that school is. If you want to apply to 15, 20 schools because you want to play the field and kind of see what's out there and you're not sure that fit yet, that's fine for you too. Be you. That's all I can say. That myth, you're going to find the right fit. The only way you're going to do that, though, and it's very true, is to visit the campuses. We have been isolated in Zoom in these boxes now for about 19 months. It's time to go out. Most of our campuses are offering tours and programs. It's real. That's something that you always think, well, visiting is important. Whatnot. It's real. You're going to feel it when you're on that college campus, if that's the right home for you.
So many good ones. I would say just, kind of, it's been said, but reiterating that you don't have to apply to the school that your mom or your dad or a family member want you to apply to. You don't also have to go for the major that they want you to go for. Find out what you really want. You also, I think I guess this kind of leads me into a myth that you don't have to have a major declared when you apply or when you are applying to a university. You can absolutely come in undecided and explore some different options of what ultimately will be the best fit for you based upon what your interests are. Most schools, you don't have to declare a major until the end of your sophomore year. Maybe some schools are a little bit different, so it's something certainly to look into, but for the most part, that's the case. So you have time to figure out what is the right fit for you and not just go towards something that you've been told, oh, you have to do this or you should do this, because ultimately that's going to lead you down the path that where your career will go. And that's really ultimately the most important thing.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you learned a lot tonight. I know I certainly did. When you do close this window, there will be a quick 5-question survey. So please fill it out. We appreciate any feedback that you have. Don't forget to check out the other fair sessions tonight with the Zoom links, and you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other recordings at strivescan.com/Spokane. Thank you so much to all of our college reps, and have a great night, everybody.